Let's begin by installing Affinity in our computer. Go to Affinity website, affinity.studio. Click on the Get Affinity button. Choose your operating system, Windows or Mac. The download for your selected system will begin. Once the file is downloaded, the installation process is just like installing any other application on your operating system. Once the installation is complete, open the app. A free sign up is required and you can choose any of the available options. I'll use my Google account. When you open Affinity for the first time, this is what you'll see on your screen. This is called the Home window. Now, I want you to click on the plus button. Once you do that, you'll notice on the left side there are different preset sizes for print and digital media. And on the right side, the settings change based on the preset you select. Broadly speaking, graphic designers usually work in two areas, print and digital media. For now, let's keep it simple and choose A4 size, which is a standard paper size commonly used in offices. We'll leave all the settings on the right as they are for now and click on the Create button. Now, let's quickly go through some important settings. Go to Affinity, Settings, or you can click on App Settings. First, open the Machine Learning section. Here, you can install the segmentation model. These additional models are only available if you have a Canva subscription. However, it's not compulsory. Usually, to their new users, Canva provides a limited period free trial of their subscription. So you can take that and try these as well. Next, move to the User Interface section. Here, you can customize the look and feel of the app based on your comfort. Adjust the brightness and contrast using these sliders. Increase the UI text size if you need. Switch between dark and light mode and move on to the Tools section. Here I recommend enabling these two options. Use Shift key to cycle tools and use mouse wheel to zoom. Once you've done that, simply close the settings window. Now that we have set up the app, let's understand the user interface. At first, it might look a little overwhelming, but once you understand how things are organized, it becomes very easy to work with. This is Document View, your main working area where your design appears. You can use the scrolling wheel of your mouse to zoom in and zoom out. The same wheel can be clicked as a button. So if you'll click and hold and then move your cursor around, it can also be used to pan the document. Think of it as your canvas, where all the actual designing happens. Up here, we have studios. A studio is a group of different panels and tools that help you manage different aspects of your design. On the left side, you'll see the Tools panel. These are the tools you'll use to create and edit your designs. You can customize the Tools panel by adding or removing tools based on your needs. To do this, simply right-click on the Tools panel and select Customize Tools. Alternatively, you can go to View, Tools, Customize Tools. We will explore these tools later in this course, but for now, let's just close this window. Some tools have subtools grouped inside them. When you select such a tool, its subtools may appear in a separate panel. If you don't see the subtools panel, you can simply click and hold on the tool icon and a flyout will appear showing the hidden tools. You can also show or hide the subtools panel by going to View, Tools, Subtools, or simply right-click on the Tools panel and make sure Hide Subtools is not checked. At the top, you see the toolbar. This is where you find commonly used options and design aids. The important thing to notice is the toolbar does not change when you switch tools. It only changes when you switch between different studios. You can customize the toolbar based on your workflow. To do this, go to View, Top Toolbar, Customize. Alternatively, you can right-click on the toolbar and select Customize Toolbar. The context toolbar always updates to show the options available for the currently selected tool, making it quick and easy to tailor tool-specific settings when you're designing. Every time you select a new tool, the context bar will display the relevant controls for that tool. In some cases, the options may also change depending on the type of object you've selected, docking and undocking. To dock or undock it, go to View, Context Toolbar, Dock, Undock, or simply double-click on the context bar to toggle between docked and undocked states. When the context bar is undocked, you can drag it and position it anywhere you like. It will snap to positions such as top center, bottom center, or the corners of the document view. So far, we have been using tools to create things, right? Panels, on the other hand, are used to manage those things. These small windows are called panels. We'll explore their uses in detail, but first, let's understand a few basics. All panels are available under the window menu at the top. To add a panel, you go to the window menu, find the panel you need, click on it, and it will appear in your workspace. To remove a panel, open the panel menu and click Close. Or if it's floating, like this, click the Close button at the top corner. Now let's see how to arrange panels. This helps you organize your workspace based on your workflow. To group panels, click and hold a panel, drag it over another panel. They'll snap together in a group like this. To dock panels, drag a panel or panel group towards the left or right edge. You'll see a blue highlight appear. Release it and it will snap into the place. You can also place panels between existing ones. Just drag it between them until the blue highlight appears, then release it. Each panel also has its own menu with options related to that panel. And it's here. Now, let's create our own studio and customize it step by step. Click on the three-dot menu next to the studios and select Create Studio. Give your studio a name. You can assign a custom icon, either upload your own or choose from the available options. You can also pick a color. Now this part is important. In the Clone From option, select None. We don't want to bring in tools from other studios that you're not familiar with yet. We will build this from scratch. Click on Create. Once it's created, click on the three-dot menu again. Drag and reposition your studio to place it at the beginning. If you are on Windows, press F2 to switch to your studio. If you are on Mac, press F1. These are the function keys you see at the topmost row of your keyboard. Remember, these shortcuts depend on studio's position. So F1, F2, F3 and so on will switch between studios in order, okay? This is the Tools panel. If you don't see it, go to the View menu and make sure Show Tools is enabled. Also enable Show Toolbar and Show Context Bar. These are not related to the Tools panel, but they are also important. If everything is checked and you still don't see it, press the Tab key on your keyboard. The Tab key toggles the entire UI. Sometimes we press it accidentally and everything disappears. Press it again to bring it back. You can also find this option under View, Toggle UI. Now right-click on the Tools panel and select Customize Tools. A window with all tools will appear. From here, you can drag and drop tools into your Tools panel. First, add the Move tool, one of the most commonly used tools. Next, add the Artistic Text tool. You can also search for tools if you know their name. These are our first steps. We're not just going to learn tools, but also the basics behind them, like typography. Don't worry, we'll keep things simple and build step by step. Before we move on to the artistic text tool, let's quickly go over navigation. To zoom, use your mouse wheel. If it scrolls, instead of zooming, hold Alt or Option and then scroll. Or press Command or Control plus or minus button. To fit the document, press Command or Control 0. To pan the document, hold spacebar and drag it around like this. Or you can also use middle mouse button. So click and hold and then you can drag it around like this. Use whichever method feels comfortable to you. Now pick the artistic text tool. Click anywhere on the document and type anything you like. I'll type happy. Click again to release the cursor. Click once more and type again. I'll type birthday. This is important. Every time you finish typing, switch back to the Move tool. If you keep the text tool selected, you'll need to manually highlight the text like this every time you want to make changes. So if you want to work with entire text, simply switch to the Move tool. With the Move tool, click on Text to select it or drag to create a selection box. Whatever the selection box will touch will be selected. Now notice how the context bar changes based on what you select. With both text layers selected, increase the font size. You can also type an exact value. Now let's format the text. Bring it roughly to the center of the document. Then use change case to sentence case. Pick a font. Change the color. Make sure the text is selected, otherwise changes won't apply. Finally, use the Move tool to position your text anywhere. Before we continue, let's quickly add shape tools to our tools panel. Now this group contains different shapes. Feel free to explore them. Now let's understand what objects are. Anything you create on canvas, text, shape, images, it's called an object. Think of an object as individual elements that make up your design. For example, text is an object, a shape is an object, an image is also an object. To work with objects, select the Move tool. To select, click on an object, or you can also create the selection box like this to select multiple objects. Once selected, now you can transform this object, which means you can move it around, resize it, rotate it. You'll see a box around it. This is called the bounding box. Drag corners to resize it. Drag edges to adjust width or height. Move slightly outside a corner and you'll see your cursor change. Now you can rotate it. You can also rotate your object using this handle. For precise control, we use Transform panel. So go to the Window menu, General, Transform. Here you can set exact width and height, rotate or skew your object, and position your object using X and Y values. You'll also see 9 reference points. These define the origin, the point from which transformation happens. Think of it like a pin. So when you put a pin on an object at any particular place, the object transforms around that point. Later in this video, we will explore how an object can be transformed in various ways. But for now, I want you to pay attention to the context bar. It changes based on what you select. Text shows text options. Shapes show fill, stroke, and corner options. Now let's talk about layering. Objects can be placed above, below, or even inside each other. If one object covers another, it simply means it's on top. To change this, go to Layers, Arrange, Move. You'll find options like Move Forward, Move Backward, Move to Front, Move to Back. Use these to control stacking order of your object. Later in this course, the concept of layers will be explained in much more details. But for beginners, that's the basic idea of objects. We'll use these to create more complex designs as we move forward.